Great. Fantastic. Welcome back to Tabletops, everybody. Sheesh. Alright, last time on Khorzaire, The Curse of Life, that's the name of this campaign, having landed, or crash-landed, however you look at it, in Zozo, the main city of the nation of Durlusk. You set out to look for a way to access the protected areas of the academies. Guessing that your destination rested on the roof of the Zozo Academy building, you ushered yourselves onward to there, learning that a barrier prevented laymen from haphazardly accessing certain areas of learning, and that a library card was all the proof you needed to pass, and then also that the best individual to issue you such a card was the Merchant King himself. You asked for an audience. Some chat with the gravelly voiced Shreka revealed that the Merchant King Alma Sonoma is just arrived ahead of his own estimates. He was out doing research, but is taking some time to organize himself, and you were instructed to come back either later this evening or when you were phoned in via the sending stone that Shreka gave Makayla. Finding yourselves with some time to kill, you headed toward the open library to spend time researching and ask the where did the music go? And ask the head librarian to I forgot what I was saying. Ask the head librarian to dispel some nasty tricks that certain members of the group had picked up along your adventure thus far. It was then that some excited exclamations that the God Emperor had returned caught your attention, and you enjoyed a show of someone claiming to be the God Emperor of coffee. Meanwhile, Xalia devoted her time to her studies, learning up on the differences between how denizens of Khorzaire approach magic practice against their own approach and that of Moonwatch, her homeland. It was here she happened to spy Feather get into an argument with a library assistant, and then a series of curious events led to the hypothesis that Feather must have snuck into a restricted area, and since 2 people have gone in and none have returned, some trouble has been caused. Xalia volunteered to go after the coffee group. A floating camera suddenly explodes. Let's see here. So...
Megaton, no.
Great. So here we are at this sort of like tent stall of sorts. There are many urns filled with coffee grounds and coffee beans. There is a crowd around, you yourselves part of this crowd, as this loud, boisterous tiefling is putting on something of a show, and certainly seems to be a person of note around here. The God Emperor of Coffee. You recently saw a little student salamander person with a huge blue hat walk up, a little shy, a little shaky, but excited nonetheless, and they grabbed... their attention was grabbed, and after some conversation, they figured out the perfect blend of coffee for this little salamander dude, and he floated away very happy. During the show, it was then that the God Emperor of Coffee scanned the crowd and rolled his head, locking eyes with Chuman. I sense a weary soul in search of answers. What did you guys do?
He's making direct contact with Chuman, right?
Yes. Currently.
I think Chuman is looking around, confused. thinking that he's probably looking at someone that's behind him.
I think he's pointing to you, Chuman.
Do you know this guy?
I've never heard of him in all my life. No one speaks as god of sorts.
Don't be shy.
He's the God Emperor of Coffee. Surely he can simply detect your need.
I suppose so. Sir, are you referring to me?
Indeed. Come, my new friend.
Chuman steps forward a couple of steps. It still keeps his distance. What is it that you wish to speak about?
I wish to speak with you about the glory of coffee. I sense within you a weariness, a certain exhaustion. You wish for a way forward to bring your brightness back.
Huh?
I do not understand what you are referring to. This weariness. I do not feel any sort of weariness.
Surely the aroma around you uplifts you and causes your mind to snap to attention so that you can achieve anything. You yearn for the burst of energy upon which you may express the espresso.
Chuman's face kind of it's the equivalent of getting a light bulb. He finally understands what he is referring to. You are referring to a good cup of coffee. Yes. It is most refreshing to have a delightful coffee whenever one is feeling quite down or a little tired. Are you, I assume that you are selling some. Is there some special flavors that you are offering?
For a moment, the showmanship like drops and like he leans in and like the shade of the stall kind of like darkens his eyes and his forehead and he leans into you and he's like, "Look, man, you're cramping my vibe, please." And he leans back. "Indeed! For you within, I sense a craving, an urgent need for something intense, a burning desire within your soul."
Chuman looks back over at the rest of the party for a second. And turns back to the god of
shrugs. Get a coffee.
Go on.
Stand there for a moment.
Gods know we can afford it.
The tiefling thrusts forward his palm and places it on your forehead and like clenches your skull for a moment. You kind of like reel back from the suddenness of it. And he raises his other hand. "Behold this ultra technique of gleaning. Which coffee would be the greatest for you?" yells out, "Oh!" And then he lets go of your head. Like, with a slight push, you kind of stumble back a bit. "You, my good friend. I sense the desire for a twin, the double. There are twin souls among you, therefore you need a twin soul of espresso. Behold, the doppio."
Damn, he's good.
He holds out his other palm that he had just recently raised in his hand and flicks it, and suddenly in his palm is a very small, kind of like glass, lacking a stem, just like a little flatware, and you can see that most of the glass is kind of just for show, and like in the middle is like a very small portion where it appears that the coffee is floating within this translucent container, and he holds it out to you. "Pray, drink upon this, sup upon this divine nectar, and become reborn." Holds it out to you.
Chuman gives a long stare at the god of coffee for a moment, kind of to see if he can get a vibe from him.
Sure, roll me some insight.
I think he is. Okay.
You try to ascertain the nature of what the hay is going on. You appear to have been drawn in some kind of act. There's showmanship abound, and it's difficult to get a read on just quite what he's doing, other than and when you try to think and put the pieces together and see what's going on and come to a conclusion, your mind is interrupted with this tiefling again in that low, curt voice. "Please take it. The cup is extremely hot."
The moment that the tiefling kind of speaks back to Chuman, Chuman's face is kind of caught off guard, and then he slowly takes the small cup of coffee. "I appreciate it," and then takes a sip of the coffee.
Alright. The tiefling withdraws and kind of shakes the heat out of his hand and folds his arm and smiles at you as you take a sip. It is very intense. It's very hot, but as soon as it hits your tongue and the inside of your mouth, it kind of smooths out and becomes just a pleasant drinking temperature instead of just tasting hot. As it moves into your mouth, it is initially bitter, but then it washes over with a creamy, smooth feel, and indeed, it is. It feels like it's a concentrated, magical feeling, and suddenly you are perky, you're alert, and this warm, earthy taste remains on your tongue and in your mouth, and you can feel this on your palate for long after you have sipped from this cup.
Chuman kind of says it's not necessarily a whisper, so you can kind of hear it. But he says it kind of to himself. I have to say, this tiefling knows his stuff fairly well. This is actually pretty remarkable. Did not expect the coffee to be this exquisite, actually.
Tiefling inhales, puffing at his chest through his nose. Is there any among you who could possibly cast even the smallest shred of doubt upon the God Emperor of Coffee? Now, having seen 2 successful candidates who are now able to perform at the top levels, even breaking their limits of concentration. There are none.
Caleb
Come
stifles
on.
a chuckle.
All of you may partake in the God Emperor's coffee. Also, Chuman, you are immune to sleep for the next 6 hours.
Nice.
Oh, let's go.
Twig will partake.
Okay. Now, one at a time. My young Kenku, what can I do for you? Do you already know what coffee cries out for your attention?
Twig, glances back at Chuman. Well, I don't know. I suppose I'll try what he had.
I'm afraid that cannot be done. You see, each coffee is unique to another. You must find your match. And a match I have for you indeed.
Oh?
He juts his hand like a knife into some coffee beans in an urn before him. These I have selected for you.
Is he holding out the beans?
Yes.
Hmm.
These will bring you to new heights. My beans. Your beans. Our beans. Are you ready? Is the only question that I have for you.
Twig, straightens up and visibly steels himself. I'm ready.
Then, behold! And he throws the beans at you, and
Oh my
you
God.
kind of flinch, preparing yourself to be hit by coffee beans, but it never reaches you. The sensation of being pelted never comes back. It never comes upon your feathers. And in a burst of smoke and like streamer noises, like firework noises, he waves his other hand in front of his palm, and he holds a small little like a small cup that appears to have a wooden texture, and he bows deeply and holds it for you. It has a bit of whipped cream on the top.
Nice.
Behold, you alone are worthy of the Lagranzio.
Whoa. Twig will accept it. Take a little peck of the whipped cream, and then a little sip of the coffee.
The whipped cream stays in your mouth. It's sweet, obviously. The coffee itself its taste can be described as loud, louder than this tiefling. Like you can hear the taste, and when the whipped cream comes in touch with it, it's like someone is like giving you a soft touch, like a soft caress inside your mouth, and for a moment it feels like there could be too much sweetness, but then it leaves off, and as if a dyad forms within your taste buds. This sweetness and then this bitterness come together and form this overall kind of like a muted fruity taste, and this experience just uplifts you. You're assaulted by many new things. It's just engaging the synapses in your brain. Things are clicking on, and you suddenly feel more aware, alert, perky, peppy. This simply divine, the tiefling says.
Twig, after swallowing, Twig, takes a breath in and then breathes out and says quietly, "Damn, he's good." Thank you. I feel alive.
There's a deep nod from the God Emperor of Coffee as he folds his arms again. I should be the one to thank you for gracing my presence, O owner of the Lagranzio. The God Emperor of Coffee welcomes any, for you all are equal under my eyes.
Makayla would go up and just very plainly ask, "Do you have any teas?"
Twig looks at Makayla in horror.
My child. My dulcet darling. Of course I do. Come.
Oh,
Within the warm embrace. I
sure.
have something for everyone, including those who desire a tea.
Oh, good. Never was much of a fan of coffee.
For the God Emperor of Coffee loves all, even those who ask for tea. There's a potted plant behind him.
Uh-huh.
It floats towards the tiefling's outstretched hand. In his other hand, there is suddenly a dagger, a sharp implement.
Mm-hmm. Makayla watches.
Behold, for you, the coffee. And it's as if he, like, what happens next, as far as you're able to see, is the man cuts three-dimensional space. Like, he carves out the area of space that you behold, and in reality slides down at an angle. He reaches in calmly into the crack.
Can I do like a some kind of insight or counter check to see like how he's doing this?
Sure, you can make some insight. As he
Like trying to figure out the trick.
Okay, 17, pretty good. This man has cleaved reality. You're not quite sure how this is possible. You've never heard of such a thing. You've never even heard of this dude. The God Emperor of Coffee. Even though 17 is very high, it is difficult to ascertain whether he is actually simply this strong, or if there is some magic afoot. You're not able to divine if the knife that he has used is some kind of like magical tool, or if this is simply a god among men, the reincarnation of Wenceslas. But you do, 17's a 17. You do get an inkling that perhaps he's very good at showmanship, given the crowd that he has around. But you're not sure what's going on.
Okay.
What you are sure is that he has pulled from the essence of the celestial astral sea, whoosh, a warm...
As opposed to the infernal astral sea?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's for the next contestant. A warm, kind of like sheep's bladder looking bag, like made out of leather, like a water bottle bag, a blubber bag,
Water skin.
Yeah, a water skin. That's what they call them. And with a turn, he extends it to you. Made from the leaves of the coffee plant. For you, a unique experience. For everyone else, a lesson.
What? It gave him like a very quizzical look. It's like, what?
This is for you alone to experience. May you walk the sands alive.
I hesitantly drink from the water skin.
My
like giving him like kind of like a side eye, like what are you saying, my guy?
My beautiful blue bell. It is definitely tea. And it is an herbal. Like, as you drink this, it's warm. It's definitely. If it. As a tea enjoyer.
Yeah.
This tea.
The tea head.
Has. Like, it tastes like it's always been missing from your life. It's always been here in this bag. It's this happy mixture of like a fruity cherry leaf, and then near it, just nudging it along gently, bubbling it up to the surface of your taste buds, is the floral, the floral, earthy aroma of coffee. There is a little bit of coffee mixed in, like a little bit of coffee taste mixed in here, but that's because it's from the leaves of the coffee plant. As you are able to detect with your insight check. We'll slide that in.
Sure.
It's as if
a refined palate.
Your refined palate allows you to determine that this has been tea brewed through the leaves of a coffee plant.
Cool. Makayla's eyes go a little wide as she like as liquid hits taste buds, but she very quickly like recomposes herself and goes like, not bad, and then just like gives a nod, walks away.
You can see the tiefling brings his hand to his face, closes it as he closes his fist and holds it over his heart, and whispers, "The Yuan Yang, blessed in your departure."
Just poison. What did he put in my drink?
As Makayla starts to walk away, Pastiche is going to step forward, covered in butterflies. Your greatness. Pastiche will kind of fall to one knee, still covered in butterflies.
Yes, my child.
Hold out their hands. A mug will appear. I have long awaited your arrival. I even brought my own mug. I've been feeling strange lately, and I thought you might be the only one who could make me feel better. Pastiche will look into his eyes, a big cheesy grin on their face. Please.
Indeed. Long have I awaited your arrival. But this mug is insufficient to hold the gifts that I have brought to bear against your existence. You can see him reel his tiefling hand back, open palm. Then he swings with a might toward the mug in your hand, going to slap it straight into the next alley. There is a loud sonic... a loud burst of sonic energy. You never feel the mug leave your hand. However, in your hand, it suddenly feels much heavier. The mug you have conjured has been adjusted. It is now slightly larger, and the handle has been reformed to where it is kind of like a pitcher handle instead of like a little coffee cup mug typical thing.
Mm-hmm.
And the tiefling says, "Please." He stops talking for a moment, and he becomes lost, and he's like shaking his head for a little while. And then he comes back, "Hold out to me, one and all, your other extremity. Show me the power." He closes his eyes now. The power within you.
Pastiche pauses for a moment, looks around. What?
He opens his eyes and looks down at you without tilting his head. Your other hand. Come here. Just bring it up, dude.
Pastiche will lift their other hand.
He goes back and closes his eyes. In your other hand is a decanter.
Oh.
With this deep, dark, 1,000,000 feet under the crust of the earth color liquid. And now the tiefling raises his hand and then moves forward, which causes his hand to also kind of like dip down. Decant.
If you insist.
You hear a voice in your head. It's the frog. Don't do it, man. Dude's a friggin' weirdo.
We are all weirdos in our own way. Pastiche will say out loud.
One eye of the tiefling opens, glares at you, then closes again.
I guess Pastiche is they're gonna do it. They're gonna use the decanter.
Okay. From this decanter pours a waterfall of delicious, aromatic liquid. It pours pleasantly, swirls around, never stilling, never becoming stagnant, into the coffee mug that you and this God Emperor of Coffee have jointly made. You can sense the aroma is very very unique. It is punctuated with the tiefling raising his hands, snapping two fingers, and going, "Behold, grand aroma!" Snap. When he snaps, the coffee seems to like pop and like bubbles. There is something of a spicy smell to the liquid, ostensibly coffee, that you hold in your hand. And it's not like jalapeno spice, it's like kind of like a peppery smell.
Okay. I think at that, Pastiche is going to look down into the mug, dip their snout into it, and just kind of sup at the coffee a bit.
Okay. As you do this, indeed, it has several flavors that wash over you all at once. It is a bitter flavor. There's the kick of the spice comes in and then is immediately like tackled out of the way, and there is the faint taste of liquor that smooths over that smooths over your teeth. This exclusive to Pastiche flavor sensation fills out with a wafting smell of coconut.
Oh.
You have been given a cognac. You feel a sensation waft over you, like a calming sensation, and then at the same time a relaxing, and everything's gonna be okay.
Yeah. This is quite good.
Roaring, raucous applause from the tiefling in the crowd that's been gathering around you. Just tiefling lifts his arms skyward to the heavens. Behold, the uplifting spirit of spirits have chosen you to grace thy taste buds.
Me?
Yes. The grand aroma belongs to you now. I cannot keep it here. It will go with you on your travels.
Pastiche will rise to their feet, look around. What does that mean, exactly?
Why? Isn't it clear? Isn't the meaning obvious? This is the perfect pairing for your perfect taste buds, for your perfect butterflies, for your perfect frog. For your perfect mouth. And he reaches out to like caress your cheek. Go strong. Go confidently in the direction of your dreams with the grand aroma.
Pastiche is still, looking at the tiefling, but their eyes are darting in different directions, trying to figure out if, they're being pranked.
Make a perception check.
Let's see. Wait a minute.
Actually, make it with advantage, because you currently hold the grand aroma.
Okay. I just realized...
Yeah, the
bar...
options, so you gotta go to the...
Oh, I probably missed that particular module.
Oh, okay.
So just roll it from your character sheet.
Sure. There it is.
A natural? Are you kidding me?
I see you're picking up where you left off.
Uh-huh.
It's too strong.
Alright, so let me tell you what a natural 20 gets. So for a total of 21? Okay. As your eyes dart around the crowd, you see your you see your companions who appear to be very pleased with their drinks. You see the tiefling is there in front of you, not necessarily commanding your attention, but he's obviously a large facet of your current view. The crowd is starting to close in, and people are shouting, "Me next!" You can hear "Me next, me next," and you can see off to the side that there is regular coffee being sold just by somebody manning just a little tiny table. And you are on the show side. You see many different people. The people walking around there, and people are all always arriving. There's plenty of urns with coffee beans. There's coffee plants behind the God Emperor of Coffee. You can see many people already enjoying their coffees, whether they be students or professors here. And right before your attention goes back to the tiefling, not really like seeing anything like interesting. In your peripheral vision, you do see folding her arms is like this hulking mass of a Lady Leonin. Like, she's exceptionally tall. Like 6'12". Which means but also like there's this kind of like she's muscly, you know, built. She's also dressed in like this dainty, like sheer fabric attire, not unlike your own. And like jewelry around her neck, around her like arms and her biceps. There's rings of jewelry and accessories. Rings around her right thigh and ankle bracelets. It all looks very fancy. But yeah, super big Leonin lady, and she's draped in a like in addition to the sheer fabric, there is like a purple, like a purple gray, kind of fur draped around her shoulders. Just kind of like quietly, arms folded, patiently watching the tiefling. You see that that person is notable because they seem somewhat out of place, but there's more and more people that look more and more out of place arriving all the time. Like suddenly there's a gecko wearing like a 10-gallon hat.
Cool.
He's gotta get all 10 gallons of coffee.
Indeed. Indeed, like Makayla's mutterings are actually correct as the gecko like removes his hat and begins shouting above the din of the crowd, "Please, God Emperor, please fill my hat with your coffee. I have a late night ahead of me."
Pastiche is going to direct their attention back to the tiefling. Thank you for gracing me with this gift. And start to slowly back away.
By all means, it is you who have gifted me the gracious grace of your presence. He reaches out like a longing hand out to you. Succeed in your endeavors. Then curls his fingers into a fist. What would you like to do?
Pastiche gets back, Makayla would be like, did you know him? Have you met before or something?
Pastiche will say a bit quietly, of course not, I was just playing into his act.
I see. He got very into his act. Well, I guess that is... what is it called? Method acting? Become the role? I don't know that.
It is a very hero act.
Twig just
Either
looks
way.
a bit confused. Act?
Makayla, like, thinks about it, and then just, like, it just leaves it. Never mind. Don't worry about it, Twig. Well, I suppose I'll have our drinks. Let's go deal with these, try and get this enchanted, shall we? This was a fun show, fun use of time. I would like to present myself to Emerging King less blue, personally.
Yes, of course. Pastiche is going to just kind of sweep the crowd one more time. See if that Leonan's up to anything in particular.
Okay. Perception. All of you are immune to sleep for the next 6 hours, having
Cool.
ingested this glorious drink of Khorzaire custom.
Is my perception still at advantage, or was that a one-time thing?
It's a one-time thing.
Okay. Sick.
You look for that Leonin. They're in the same space, so even a 4 gets you. They're still there. They now have a cup of coffee in their hand. Looks like they just like bought a cappuccino or something from the from the thing. They didn't participate in the act. Oh, here you go. They're still there. Boop, boop. Down there, just like sipping like a bit and just looking around. They seem like a smile curls around her face. She seems pretty pleased with herself. And then, let's see, what does she do? I guess having completed her goal of obtaining a drink, she walks away. I guess, roll me a history check, unless you don't want to.
Sure, let's go for that. I'm good at those.
This is the easiest history check you've ever rolled in your life.
Uh-huh.
That's... you know who this is. That's...
Uh-huh.
That is the
Yeah.
incredible savant of artistry herself, who invented vibrant paint, taught you literally everything you know. She's there, in the flesh, enjoying a coffee. Somewhat strange.
Yeah, a little bit.
because, reclusive as she is, why would she be outside?
While I was looking around, would I have gotten any impression that she noticed me?
Sorry, with a series of rolls here, that would be an insight.
Okay.
You're not sure
Yeah.
if that was... Well, you don't know, but you sure were the center of attention for a good while.
Right. I think Pastiche will ostensibly start to leave with the party, but trail a bit behind and branch off to Tailvera.
Okay. Need a stealth check from you. Unless you're not being sneaky.
We're being a little sneaky.
Okay, I need a sneaky check.
Well, considering... Oh my god, 20. I was about to say, considering how this city apparently works, with, like, you think about where you're going, and it takes you there,
Alright.
you would just, like, disappear from us, right? As we'd have, like, different goals of where we're going.
Yeah, you three, you start heading towards the library, and then Pastiche, you slowly start moving to the back of the pack, just slowing your gait, and suddenly you are no longer with your party, and you are tailing that person. Let's see here. You three make it to the library in a sweat. Pastiche. there is a Leonin ahead of you. She appears to be walking easily, sipping a delightfully warm drink. There's a confidence in her step and a bounce in her walk. What would you like to do?
I think Pastiche is going to keep following her for a little while longer, to see if she's like here with anyone.
Okay. Let's see. She is easy enough to tail. She's not making an effort to to blend in or like or anything like that. Like she's just walking casually. Let's see. Give me a perception check. Okay. This takes you maybe like 5 minutes, 10 minutes of walking around, being sneaky. So you're just being a casual citizen, actually. She'll stop by a couple shops. She'll take a sip of her coffee. Eventually she finishes it, and then she just leaves it on, like she leaves the cup on a railing. She'll just pass and nod at random shop owners and stalls trying to sell their wares. There's not really any like special events. Okay. And also just walks around. It doesn't seem like she's with anybody or in a hurry of any kind.
I think after following her around for a while, as she's coming out of one of those shops, Pastiche is going to like walk by the entrance and try to make it look like a coincidence.
Okay.
Like, walk straight into her line of sight, but not necessarily towards her.
Okay. I get you. Hit me with a performance check. What's that? 17, strong coincidence. All right. As she goes into one of these shops, it is actually a. Let's see. It's actually a. Oh my goodness, what's the word? It's a florist where they sell desert flowers. And she comes out holding a little desert rose, and she is going down some stairs. There's like a little stoop to the shop. She just boop boop boop, and then you just casually walk by her and directly in her line of sight. She pays you no mind, tucks the little desert rose in the like she's got like this little kind of like blue rapier on her right side. It's sheathed. She kind of like tucks the stem into the sheath, so it's now kind of like performing double duty. One a weapon of blood, the other a weapon of love.
Whoa.
And she sniffs, looks around, and then continues on her merry way.
Alright. Pastiche is just gonna walk right next to her. Just like occasionally glancing at her.
True Pastiche fashion. Alright. So you're walking right next to her?
Uh-huh.
Okay. This does get the Leonin's attention. And finally she casts a gaze down at you. And is going to formally acknowledge you. Like this kind of like husky voice, a bit of grade in it, as if she's not pulling, like not putting like a whole lot of effort into it. Oh, can I help you?
Hi, Vera, yes?
Yes, that's me. I saw you at the God Emperor of Coffee stand. Looked like you were enjoying yourself.
Pastiche sort of shrinks a bit. You do remember me? It's Pastiche.
What are Pastiche's surface thoughts? What are you thinking? What are the emotions that are in your head right now?
I'm thinking, is she okay? Am I okay?
Okay, I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh boy. How do I do that from my character sheet? Is it
from your character sheet? You can click on the name of the stat.
Okay, I found it.
All right. Let's see here. I need give me like reasoning into your emotional state. Like, why are you cautious and like you have this trepidation about it? And I need something like I need the big looming thing in your mind. Something you're worrying over, something you love, or something you hate. Sorry.
The reason we're feeling this way is because it's been a while, but it hasn't been, it hasn't been changed so drastically that my mentor wouldn't recognize me long. And the thing I'm worried about is this Vera? Has something happened to her? Is she flying?
Okay.
What's going on?
All right. As your final thought shifts to what's going on, Vera attempts to assuage your worries, and she says, "Yes, Pastiche, I'm fine. I know you've been looking for me all this time. That's commendable. Yeah.
You knew?
And yes, words and deeds have a way of traveling around. In the middle of this conversation, you feel something kind of like poking at your head, poking at your skull. You feel like this probing sensation into your mind. You can you feel like you can affect it, and like resist this probing sensation, but it is definitely there.
Okay.
Vera's there, looking down at you, locking eyes with you. There's a faint smile on her face.
Well, I'm glad to see you're all right. What have you been up to? If you don't mind me asking.
I've been here, working. I have.
They're important though. Yeah, I'll post them anyway. Oh shit, sorry.
Tell me.
I've been here, working. I have things to do here in Zelzo. I appreciate you looking for me, but if you'll excuse me, I have to finish a commission that I've been commissioned to do. So long. And she takes like a step back.
Wait, that's it? You left without a word. Why?
Let's see. Is Pastiche thinking about what's like the scene going in Pastiche's head right now?
Probably specifically like waking up to an empty home.
Okay. As this probing sensation kind of like worms around like encircles your brain. Okay. I am sorry. I had to leave all post haste. I suppose that's the same reason that I have to leave again. Thanks for looking for me. You can stop now. Goodbye. I'm fine. Happy.
Pastiche will like wince a bit, pause for a moment. Get the impression that there's something more going on, but kind of, take the hint not to pry. Okay. Yes, carry on. Again, it's nice to know you're alright.
Yep. Let's see, is there any, let's see. Is Pastiche reviewing how Vera, like, acts and, like, her mannerisms in his head? Or in their head?
Yeah, probably.
Okay. So you feel this probing again, and Vera responds, "Yes, that's me, perfectly all right. I'm going to go back to my room now. That's where my painting things are." And she'll look around and then kind of like scurry away. The scurry is not like she hurries away, or attempts to anyway. But You still feel
Pastiche is going
yeah,
to... go ahead.
You still feel this probing sensation, like even as she's walking away.
Mm-hmm. Pastiche will just sort of stand there for a moment, let her get a bit of a lead, and then continue following her. Back to being a bit sneakier.
Okay. Give me a stealth check. 10, 19.
It hovered on that one for like a second.
Okay. You get a few paces. There's this continuous, you get a few paces, maybe a few seconds, and then like this continuous warming sensation fades away. And you feel you feel like you're by yourself again. And Vera darts past like a stall and behind like a camel and like a couple merchants and stuff. And she gets slightly out of your perception, out of your ability to see her. But tailing her, you simply continue on your way, and you sneak around. Let's see, a 24 is pretty good, so I'll give you the benefit here. You can see behind some large stacks of various merchant accoutrements. The entity known as Vera points in a direction. The merchant looks, and then there's a quick thing of things knocking over, and then the merchant quickly runs and grabs all the stuff, and then then Vera runs over kind of behind these boxes and stuff. You can still see her tail, but then it kind of curls in, and you can no longer see it. So she is attempting to hide, it seems, behind some boxes and crates.
Mm-hmm. Aww.
What would you like to do?
Pastiche is going to pull out their brush, run it in a few circles around the air before fading out.
Whoosh! Splish splash goes the ink. And then you just walk through your portal, I think is the thing, and the ink hovers in the air for a moment, and suddenly you are no longer able to be seen, and the ink portal behind you vanishes, just kind of fades away. You can no longer be seen. You are invisible.
And they're just gonna head right behind those boxes Vera was hiding behind.
Okay. As you sneak over there, there is suddenly something strange. Here, there is not Vera. The Leonin has disappeared or moved on. In her place is what looks like a drunken elf student. They're just kind of on the ground, leaning back against the crate. Very poor posture. They're slowly turning into a puddle as they slump down. There's this they don't have any hands. They look belligerent and drunk. They're just like bleh, tongue balling out. Yeah. Did you miss her?
Pastiche is going to speak out to this elf. Are you okay?
The elf here's the voice.
Pastiche will step back, look around.
Okay, perception. Or survival, whichever you feel is appropriate. Oh, never mind, a natural 20. Well, how are you getting these narrative 20s?
Look, this is important.
Okay, indeed. As you look around, still invisible, this disheveled elf kind of like slides forward as you look around, looking for any trace of your mentor. Where has she gone? Your gaze turns back to the drunk elf, and you notice two pieces of equipment that are suddenly familiar to you. There is a blue steel rapier and a desert flower on their person. The rest of their, we'll say gear, the rest of their outfit is much different though. But it is curious why they too would also be carrying these items. But you also do not see any like Leonin tracks. You see a worried merchant putting some stuff back together, and a camel goes by.
I think on noticing the rapier, Pastiche is just going to watch this elf for a while.
Okay.
Familiar with a few of their own tricks, and a few of their own tricksterations. They're going to stand around for as long as the elf does.
Okay. Alright, after about 10-15 minutes, the elf sits up, looks around, appears suddenly extremely sober. Looks around and then gets up. Upsy daisy. Looks around. Stretches, like rubs their shoulder. That was close. What are the odds? And then puts both their hands behind their head and saunters off out of the alley.
And Pastiche will follow.
Okay. They eventually arrive at a... Let's see. They arrive at like an umbrella, like little picnic table kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
They look around. Huh. Figured they'd... What? Figured she'd get here before me. She must be held up. And then he'll... the drunken elf will sit down at the picnic table and start drumming their fingers. Just put their elbow on the table, put their chin in the hand. Five minutes will pass by. It was kind of rough. Come on, where is she? 5 more minutes will pass by. The elf will just be face down, just clunk on the picnic table, and just mutter to themselves. Do I have to turn into a muscle man just to get her attention? To get her to show up on time? I swear. It's been about like 40 minutes now into your invisibility spell.
Okay. I think at some point, Pastiche is going to take a seat next to this person. Just kind of keep waiting around.
Okay. Alright. And for that amount of time, we are going to switch to another group. Another group who currently ostensibly knows where Feather is. Greetings, Xalia.
Hello, I'm here. I exist.
You last left off where Feather appeared to have gotten in an argument with someone, with the library assistant, and then like there was a series of events where like the door.
Yeah, Xalia was having an incident.
Yeah, and Xalia was part of the incident. You've made many loud noises. Down here in the library, just the amount of time you spent here. Now there is the head librarian, this posh-looking human with shaggy brown hair and glasses, wearing a clean and well-kept suit coat. Approaches you and asks quizzically, "What's going on here?"
Just to verify, people are fucking in the basement with a known problem.
That is definitely what you have pieced together.
Okay. How does Xalia express that? She's going to she's gonna do her minor illusion thing, where she's gonna depict people going down, down the stairs, and then like the two people that have gone down there to check it out, and then she's going to in a little minor illusion dream at the base of that, she's going to depict a feather with a knife. Well, actually, not even with a knife; it's a sharp quill, just coming down from the ceiling and stabbing straight through them, and they're gonna fall over.
Okay. For this person, that is easy enough to understand. As you move through these illusions and you what's the verb of malleable? As you manipulate them.
Okay.
And you tell this story, you can see like their eyes behind the glasses, they grow wider and wider, and some of their like hair stands on end, and then they look towards the door. They observe your shadow spirit for a moment. Then they look back at you, and then there's like a bit of like they sigh and like they visually kind of like I see. That is definitely a problem. We shall go with all haste. Come, let's let's fix this problem. And he opens the doors for you, and he'll attempt to get past your shadow spirit, and then looks back towards you. Could you, please?
He'll nod and just kind of tell it to move.
Okay, and the massive tentacles just kind of like swirl around and allow him pass. Yes. All right, great. I imagine you would like to come along. Come, let's go.
He will attempt to come along and then fail.
Okay, yep. Blong. You just kind of bounce off of this force field, this invisible wall, with this deep noise. And the head librarian looks back at you, tilts his head a bit, and then walks up to you. Are you not a student here?
She'll shake her head.
I see. Now they look a bit more fretful. Are you a traveler? Are you a...
She'll nod
Are you a
at traveler.
burgeoning student? You don't have a library card. Do you have a letter of recommendation that I can turn into a library card? Do you have anything that would prove to me that you are a seeker of knowledge?
Xalia pulls out her, like, withered tome.
I'm afraid that's not quite enough. We have scholars coming and going all the time, but they are not pursuers of knowledge. They don't seek enough to warrant granting them a library
Xalia
card.
pulls out the magnifying glass.
That is a magnifying glass.
Yes. He looked impatient that this didn't get him.
You can see him kind of like rubbing their temples. Alright.
She will hold it up to their face and make them look through it.
I see, you are a shapeshifter, someone who can change your body at will.
No, she's not doing it. She's just literally just like, look, it does things. This is an information gathering tool.
They still say this.
Okay.
We don't retcon that. And then after you kind of reaffirm their focus, they understand your magnifying glass a little bit. And sigh. Then they pull from their wrist a small little index card, about like 2 inches by 3 inches. And then they hold it up to you. Hold it, please. Take this from me.
Xalia will grab it.
Then instantly they flick it with their thumb and middle finger. And you feel this sensation of... sensation of magic swirling around you. There's the sense of many questions being posed about your being and what you've done, what your research topics are, and what you plan to do in the future. And you watch as on your card, on your little card that you've been handed, after a moment, written in sparkles and in huge prominent lettering, is Xalia. And below it is Illusion. You now have a library card.
Hell yes.
The head librarian explains. And they also explain this will not last forever, simply under the extreme circumstances that I'm granting you temporary access to the restricted tomes so that you can be there without a chaperone. Please, you may call me F or Effie, as everyone has decided to call me. Let's go. We have trouble afoot. And he goes towards the hallway and goes down the spiral staircase.
They is following him very closely.
Alright. Being chaperoned, you are able to pass through this barrier. It's an interesting sensation that you do feel the first time. It's like moving through like a film. Similar to when you walked through like that block of water underneath Tretosk. And you go around the what you call it? You go around the spiral staircase, and there is a scene before you. Let's see here. Let's see here. So there is a scene before you. There is some music that changes.
Oh no.
As you walk down the spiral staircase. Oh, I've got to get everybody else's token. Hang on, gang. Player characters. Boop. 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 Okay. We're now in the library downstairs. Let's see here. So downstairs, music changes. So there is trouble down here, Xalia, as you might have known.
No way.
The human that you are being chaperoned by. Where is... Here we go. The human that you're being chaperoned by mutters about not being able to see and moves a couple globules of light out ahead of him.
Mm-hmm. Hi, Twig.
It is dark down here. So, I believe you do not have dark vision?
No.
Okay. So it's difficult to see what kind is going on, but illuminated by these little globules of light, as one rushes over, you can see on the ground the assistant that you saw. You can see the other assistant that ran in after her hurriedly. They are both on the ground. The lady assistant is face down, and the other assistant is face up. They appear to be. They appear to not be moving. And then standing over them is Feather, in her purple to white gradient glory, holding out her Zyphos sword, and holstered is her crossbow. She looks like she's in a battle stance, but she's turned away from the assistants. What she is facing instead is something a little out of the ordinary. There is a swirl, and there's a swirl of pages, a swirl of leather, and a swirl of like straps and binding. And it is now that you realize that this room, the overall noise level can be described as cacophony, where many books are floating through the air and assaulting Feather as she bats one away, like into the wall, just slumps down. It gets back up, and there is trouble. There are books attacking Feather, and Feather attacking books.
Xalia will tap F's shoulder and kind of point at the books.
You can see the head librarian look around, quickly assessing the situation, and he'll yell out as Feather like cuts a book in half with her sword. He'll yell out, "Aelins, this is what you get for not listening to instructions. What has happened here? Quick! To me!" And I need you to roll initiative.
Okay. I was hoping he'd just explain what that was.
He may do so on his turn.
Fair enough. I don't have the initiative button anymore, and don't know where to find it on this. There it is.
Remind me if your Shadow Spirit has its own initiative or it moves on your turn.
I believe it moves directly after me. I could be wrong on that.
I believe that's correct.
Yeah, it takes turn immediately after mine.
Okay. Cool. Oops, no, not invisible. I'll put these guys in initiative too. Let's see here. At the top of the round, Effie will yell out, will turn to you and quickly explain, these books are it's something of a security device, and also something of a something of the reason why we need assistance to chaperone students. Sometimes the magic gets a little wild in here, and we have to calm it down. Looks like Aelins has managed to screw up, so to speak. Please don't be too harsh on the knowledge. I will attempt to bring it down, but attacking them by any means should counteract the magic. Or if you know any tricks that either calm magic or dispel it entirely, please be my guest. I will be doing the same. And he holds out his hand, and like some arcane cool blue circles and glyphs show up on this arcane symbol that F holds up before him. You can hear a swirl of books slamming into bookshelves and flying through the air, just the ever-present of flapping pages everywhere. What would you like to do as you get the first turn?
Well, Xalia heard that, and she's acknowledged all that, but in terms of her perception of the situation, so basically the books are not an immediate threat to her. Feather is still a problem. So what she's going to do is, I'm sorry to say, drop concentration on the Shadow Spirit, because she mostly just wanted that to block the exit.
Goodbye.
And she's going to use a 4th level spell.
Oh crap.
On Feather.
Okay.
Cool.
Sure. She does not meet your DC. Tell me what happened.
So it's not going to be much of a visual effect because it's only visible to Feather, but Feather is just going to suddenly experience every single one of her worst nightmares simultaneously.
That is very terrifying for Feather. Like genuinely.
If you want, if you want a visual, you might imagine like some little black light knives of light tapping into Feather's brain and just letting a bit of shade out the back of her skull, like black mist.
Okay. Alright. Cool. We'll see if Feather effing dies later.
She's gonna take some psychic damage, by the way.
Does it happen when
26
the spell
psychic
is
damage.
cast? Or
Yes.
or just on her turns?
Oh, I didn't realize that. I didn't realize that was per turn. Yes, okay. Well, never mind. Sorry, I thought it was one time.
Okay. Tap in, target is on the field, target. Okay, it's at the end of Feather's turn. Rather than when. Okay, cool, got it. Understood. Very cool. Xalia has done something to Feather, while these books are gonna go nuts. This book flies out. What's their speed? Whoosh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 flies. This one. This one. We're going to roll some stuff. One begins reading a treatise on the science behind how a let's see, like the science behind how lightning cracks make thunder, and the first assistant is blasted away from a book that you can see, like it darts out of the globe of light and then into the darkness, and then you just hear a loud and the body of this assistant is blasted 10 feet away, or 10 feet toward you rather.
I see.
This one is going to, let's see here. This one is going to throw another book. In this line. Feather is going to roll dexterity. Oh, and get clobbered.
He's not having a good day.
Oh no.
Alright, Feather, trying to hold her ground against these flying books, is going to get slammed in the head by a book. And she she yells out, "Ah!" Let's see, and this one is going to try to wrap our good friend F. Give the space for it? Yeah. Wrap our good friend F in some magical energy. Yeah, that hits. Does max damage. Sorry, bro.
They look like you can take that?
Electricity leashes around F, like around his shoulders, and then circles around his neck. When it does, it gives a big jolt of shock, and he yells out in pain as he's electrocuted, and he briefly loses his spell, and then looks around. He's huffing. It looks like that definitely hurt him, and he didn't like it one bit. Looks like he can take it, like maybe, but maybe not too many more of them. Let's see. Oh, and this one. It's gonna do. Oops. Let's see here. It's going to do a. It's going to read a recipe book. Underneath Feather. There is now difficult terrain underneath this one. She trips.
Oh no, she's just not rolling anything.
Feather, after being slammed in the head by a book from far away, she reels back and like takes a step, and suddenly the ground beneath her is like cooking oil and grease, and by golly, it is popping. And she flips and sluts and slips and goes face down, and like falls on her back on the ground. She yells out expletives.
This is just part of the realization of her worst nightmares.
Yeah, it is. It really, actually is. Genuinely, you are correct. Out of character, yes, it is. As Feather drops 1,000,000 feet from the sky, a huge swirling spiral mass of books runs over and is going to slam the dude on the ground. It's as if a... Wait, we have advantage on this. It's as if a bookshelf toppled over and a spiral of books is heaving itself onto this dwarf on the ground. And we do a lot of damage. Yikes! 6 book damage. And when that happens, a book falls on his face. Let's see, F's turn, he's going to run forward. Stop just short of the grease.
He's smart.
And he is going to... Let's see here. Hold out his hand and quickly assess the situation, and he will... Is this a touch spell? No. And he will command this massive spiral of books that is floating and hurling itself through these bookshelves. You're past your due date. Back to your shelf. And this dude is going to make a charisma throw. This massive spiral of books, all at once, all like 100 of them, disappear. He flicks his wrists and looks around. Aliens, are you okay? What of these people? As he looks down and like fallen feather, like she's covered in goop.
This guy's with feather.
Let's see. This person is down, and Feather is going to use half her movement to get up. And she's going to yell out, "This is what happens when you don't just leave me alone! None of this would have happened if you just let me be! I had to get a book for Professor Monaco, but that stupid... Oh, she wouldn't let me go! She said I had to wait." And out of frustration, she's going to leap towards the book that threw a book at her, and we'll see if she falls again. Okay, now.
I believe in Feather.
She's gonna leap.
In character, Xalia fucking hates her. Out of character, I believe in her.
She's gonna leap towards this book and try to cleave it in twain. And effing miss.
Did she only get one attack around?
Nope, she has more.
Okay.
Alright, she has 18, and that hits the book. There is a... Let's see, she is partially out of sight, but you see Feather, and you see her kind of like push her arms in a specific manner, and there's like a pulse of blue energy, and there's like a trailer bass drop sound, like a... And that you hear a book go flying and impact the wall, like just book toppling noises. That's Feather's turn. Which brings us back around to... Oh, wait, at the end of Feather's turn, she takes a bajillion damage.
Yeah, 40 gun. Let me just hit that button real quick. And she gets... Well, it's a wisdom save. She has to make a wisdom save or she takes it.
Okay. Let's see. Okay, she's frightened. She can't currently see you, so she's fine in that regard. We don't have to roll again. At the end of... Okay, so it's a wisdom save to take hold, and then a wisdom save for the damage. Gotcha.
Yep. I mean, it's very debilitating while it's working, so...
Alright, let's see here. 12.
No. She's gonna take some damage.
Yikes!
That was a low roll. That was a really low roll.
Feather like holds her head and she takes a knee and she like firmly plants her hands on the ground next to her and she shrieks out to nobody in particular. No, let me fly. That's Xalia's turn.
Okay. Xalia is going to be a little bit wary of this guy, so she's gonna move over here behind the assistants. Is there a book behind her that I can't see this, by the way, over here?
Yeah. You see a bookshelf here. Oh, wait, there's not Raikel. So there's a bookshelf, and then there's a book right here.
Okay. By what you mean, an animated book?
Yeah, like a flying book that currently is like leashing Effie with lightning. Past this is another room.
Okay. She's going to magic missile wand, let's say 3 of them into this book. Just level 1. She doesn't know how tough these things are.
Okay.
So just a level 1 single charge. Shouldn't I be at full charges at this point?
Yes.
I haven't used it recently. Okay, so I'll use 1 charge.
Yeah, you get D6 plus 1 charges every time every dawn, and it's been some days since you used it.
Okay, and if she can, she's gonna try to direct the missiles to hit it on the cover rather than anywhere sensitive.
Okay, very nice. Magic missile does not miss, so yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. Poof, puff, piff. Magic missile. We'll say because you're aiming in a specific direction, yes, that works and that hits and that does actually accomplish your goal immediately. It seems like the type of magic that you're hitting it with causes it to kind of like counteract and reel back, and then the book just boom, it hangs there for a moment and then flops to the ground.
Okay.
Inert.
Okay. And was it on the first missile or all of them, or can I not tell?
Let's see. It hung in the air for a moment as all three hit. So
Okay.
I would say it would be tough to tell.
Okay. Could I roll some detect check or just nah?
Yeah, you can roll an Arcana. Or Arcana or Insight.
Well, one of those I have a +3. The other one, I'm gonna roll a 1. Not quite a 1.
An 11. Difficult. You don't have enough research to form a hypothesis. It could be the first one. It could be needing all three, like a certain number of charges. You're
Okay.
like hitting it at once. You're not sure.
Okay. And that's their turn then.
Okay. These books. We're going to. This one's going to fly over here, and then Glomp, the assistant.
Okay.
This one over here. Oh, this one's up and down. This one is going to.
Wait, what do you mean by glomp it? I thought you were gonna roll some dice.
The book appears to have just flopped open on an open page on the lady assistant's on the back of her head. And slowly, I was going to explain it later, but because the group initiative. But we'll go ahead and it's slowly, as if like a constrictor snake eating its prey. It's slowly moving down the assistant's body, and she is disappearing into the book. This one is going to roll 1d12 for Ritual, because we are leashing F. We get 2 damage. Shabam. This dude is on the ground. Swarmbucks is gone. F. Yells out. Praises you, Xalia. Excellent. Good work, Xalia. That seemed very effective. And he's going to reach out and let's see here. Notice that the lady assistant is encountering a bit of trouble here. He's going to move over and weave his hands in a triangular motion and push forward like this kind of eye-looking symbol, and then the eye shuts. There's a little kind of like teardrop of blue. It's real extra. A teardrop of blue that comes from the glyph and lands on the book, and it stops moving, and it kind of like falls backwards as if like rubber banding out, and the lady assistant is restored. This book's gone.
Okay.
Let's see. He's gonna yell out, "Aelins, where are you?" As he kneels down to help the 2 people that are down. This person, sorry, this book. Let's see here. Is going to recite a tale about the law of gravity. Let's see here. Template radius sphere on the assistant. So I think that hits you as well. I need a Constitution saving throw from you, Xalia.
Uh-oh.
Okay. you immediately take 2d8 force damage. 11 force damage.
Owie.
And your speed is halved as you feel the pull, like this gravitational pull, move you back towards.
Fuck. Wait, could I use the +2 boon on this one?
Is that the first?
It's very much not the first.
Okay.
Could I use my inspiration on that one?
Yes.
Okay. I fucking hate it here.
Sorry.
3 single digits in a row!
I'm sorry.
Thulius ate all the good rolls.
Yeah, what the heck? Pastiche is over there chomping down on natural 20s. Took them all. So as you feel the gravitational pull, just like resist your movement. Your speed is halved.
Mm-hmm.
This person still down, which brings us to Feather. She is going to run forward. Well, not run forward. She's going to like jut to the side. Notice you out of the corner of her eye, and it distracts her momentarily as she swipes her Zyphos. Dang, she almost got 2 natural 20s. A 15 is enough to hit. Let's see.
Not afraid anymore. Spell ended.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
Oh, right, because no concentration. In that case, she gets a natural 20 because that was the first one. And a 17. Okay, both of those hit. We crit the book. And then we damage the book. 10, 16, that is enough. And then there's another blue pulse. And that book flies back and is deactivated, question mark? Which brings us back to Xalia.
Are there any still active that you can see?
There is a book that, like, you can see a trail of lightning coming from coming from a book here. It's very faintly illuminated, so you know it's there. But it is currently like in the darkness, so you can just see like where the lightning ends and is attached to F's neck.
I see. How is F looking at Feather?
Give me an insight check.
Okay.
He's got like this.
Thulius. You gotta stop. You gotta share the rolls.
Let's see.
Suspiciously 20-shaped belly.
Powerful.
F is looking at Feather with a furrowed brow, like kind of grumpy, kind of like what have you done? Kind of like I'm mad and disappointed at you face.
Alright, she's going to back up, put another level 1 magic missile into this book.
Okay.
For 10 damage, fourth.
Yeah, 10 force damage. That is pretty good, as you have learned that this is rather effective. Poof, pop, biff. The book, the magical force nature, the kinetic force, slams the book closed, which detaches the electricity, ensorceling F, and spins the book down, and the lock kind of like flops down and hooks and latches and clasps, and it is inert.
Okay. At this point, he's going to move like up here, just get out of the way and kind of just listen.
Okay.
That's her turn.
Alright. Let's see here. There is only a slight danger. As F moves around, cautiously steps around the grease puddle that now dirties the floor. You can see him trace a single finger in a circle, and and then there's this big blue pulse of triangles and like eye marks, and you can see him dramatically grab the air and then make like a throwing motion to the side. The spiral of books apparates into vision and it starts swarming around, but in the same moment F pushes on this glyph that he's created in front of him, and there's a shining corridor of light, and he appears to dispel them all of their animated magic, and they fall to the ground. So just poof, boff. You know, books clattering to the floor. Blah, 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 blah. The danger appears. The danger, as far as like books attacking, appears to be over. F brings the globes together to lighten the area once more. And let's go ahead and.
Oh, Xalia's still in fight mode.
Okay. Let's see here. Did I accidentally? I did accidentally change the encounter, but it'll be like, you know, it'll be okay. We'll do it live. We'll just rock. So since we're still fighting, we're gonna keep the music on.
she will be listening. Like, I'm incredibly suspicious of this guy at this point, so she's listening to how they interact.
Okay. Roll me stealth on your turn.
Okay.
With advantage.
Okay. Let's just roll another one.
Okay. All right. So the conversation between the two, as the books are taken care of, Aylin's, or as F has been calling her, Feather.
No, it's the other way around.
Whoops. Feather, or as F has been calling her, Aylin's. You can hear kind of like goose step on the wooden floor. There's like this like somber tone. I guess since you're here to tell me don't do that again. Yeah, right, cool, I get it, thanks. F takes this kind of like, you did wrong, and kind of like you messed up tone. Look, aliens, we have rules in this library for a reason. Rules in Zozo for a reason. And is preventing such things happening. Look at the library. Look at this space. This is directly a cause of what you have done. I can't even talk straight anymore. What happened? Look, can we just like pretend? Like, I feel real bad about it, okay? Can we just like pretend that you yelled at me and we can, you know, skip to the end? I won't do it again, I promise. F. His voice gets kind of like boomier as it echoes throughout the bookshelves. You will tell me what happened now! There's a... After the bookcases stop shaking for a moment, Feather kind of like squeaks out. I needed a book for Professor Monaco so he could do his lecture tomorrow. He was going to do some references for it. That given what you know about Feather, like, she pauses for a moment. You can tell that she was about to say like an expletive, but then she thinks then she thinks better of it. Aurelia said she was busy, and I needed it now. So I snuck in here to get it anyway. I was not going to trigger any of the magical traps, the books would not have come animated, and none of the knowledge would have gone wild if it was just me. If these two library assistants did not come in after me, would have been fine. Have kind of harumphs. And looks down, and you can see like some magic as you peek around Xalia. You can see him attending to the fallen library assistants and making sure that they're okay, and like tending to any of like their bruises, and you can see like there's a little bit of like curative magic going on. He looks back at Feather. Feather, this will go on your record, I'll have you know. And I'm going to have a talk with Professor Monaco as well about your behavior. You must always have a chaperone. I'll have your library card suspended if you do this again, no matter the reason. Now, what book did Professor Monaco need? Something about his lecture? There's a book on fire. He can't make any, I can't make any, none of the people in book club can make one. Whatever. I'll have it transferred to you. I'll take it. No. Go back to class, Salins, or whatever you needed to do. I'll have to speak with Merchant King Alma when he returns. About security measures and something like that. Maybe we need to have some other rules in place so that situations like this don't happen again. You can see Feather kind of like stomp her feet as she's about to throw a tantrum. And then just settles for knocking a book off the shelf. She adjusts her satchel and she heads back towards the exit. I think grease lasts longer than a minute. So she's going to... We're going to see if she trips. She slips and slides and like trips face first onto on the grease for a moment, and then you can hear her like just yell out. And then she picks herself back up and goes back upstairs, dirty, covered in stick. And unless you do something, she leaves.
Xalia, I mean, so implicitly I was going to say this, but you were talking. Halfway through this, she's going to have cast Spider Climb.
Okay.
So once Feather starts leaving, she's going to start spider climbing along the ceiling to follow Feather.
Okay. As this happens, and the assistants come around, come to, and they start making their groaning noises. The music changes to something less hectic. And we are... let's see here. We are back in the shady spot. You hear F saying, welcome back, you're fine now. Just a few bruises. We're here in the restricted book area. Me and my new friend, Xalia, calls out to you.
At this, like, if Feather's leaving at this point, she's like here.
He calls out to you. He doesn't quite know where you are yet. He doesn't think to look on the ceiling. He'll make a perception check in a moment, I guess. But I'm giving you the opportunity to respond if you choose to.
She'll minor illusion, not like just a hand in front of his face, waving. And continue walking this way.
Oh, good. Xalia, I'm glad to see you're safe. He starts talking to the hand.
The hand will wait patiently and grow a face.
Yes, great. I'm glad for your for your assistance today. If you stick around, I'll make sure that you are properly rewarded, perhaps with a more permanent library card. Would you like that?
The hand's face will stick out a tongue, which will become a thumbs up.
Excellent. I'll see you upstairs in a moment. After I take care of our two lovely assistants here. Yes, I need to see that they are back in tip-top shape.
The thumbs up grows an extra thumb. Xalia will continue following Feather.
Okay. Let's see. Feather hurries up the spiral stairs. Let's see here. We'll go back to the library house. Boop, boop, boop. Feather's hurried upstairs with you quickly behind her. She quickens her step and kind of runs up the stairs, taking two at a time now. But for you, with your spider climb, you are effortless in climbing. Because you have a climbing speed. Anyway, funny joke. Feather runs out. She gets back into the library proper, outside of the restricted book area. She looks around. She opens her bag, pulls out a book, then puts it back and pats.
Xalia mage hands that book.
Alright. Make a... It's in her hand. It's gotta be... Roll Arcana.
Okay.
And put Mage Hand in the chat for me, please.
Alright. She's entirely relying on surprise at this point.
Yeah.
To actually... if this is fought, it's not.
Okay. Let's see here. 15. Pretty good. Let's see here. Let's see, Mage Hand, and then we're gonna do something here.
Yeah.
Okay. She sees the Mage Hand at the last second, clamoring for the book, right as she's about to intercept it between her putting it back in the pack, just where her grip is weakest. And then, she sees this ghostly hand coming for it, and then she quickly pulls a bladed instrument known as a knife, and then she goes and stabs the hand, and then there's a pulse of blue, and then the knife that she just used dissipates your mage hand, and also the blade shatters. She looks around. You're not.
Xalia is going to, for dramatic effect, drop from the ceiling.
Okay. She looks around, sees you after you after you dramatically drop from the ceiling. She observes this dramatic sequence.
She's going to recollect herself, partially through shapeshifting, literally pull herself back up from a puddle, and then just pull out Suit Whisper and point it directly at Feather.
Make an intimidation check with advantage.
Like a goop falling from the ceiling.
Yeah. Well, I have to be more pushing joints and whatnot, far beyond what they normally do that. But yeah.
Amazing.
All right. She takes a step back, and then you can see her kind of squint at you. She's like, what the and then as you point Soot Whisper at her, she kind of alarms, and her mouth opens and her eyes widen. Not my problem. And then she runs out.
When does the rest of the party get?
The rest of the party actually gets here right on cue. The group minus Pastiche. So Chuman, Makayla, and Twig, you arrive at a lovely looking library. outside, like there's some like boat ornaments where like there's the bow of a ship. There's like a giant steering wheel. There's a huge sign that says the Nautical Exchange. It seems like it's a vessel or ship themed library. The big double doors. Yeah, here you are. You have made it. After
Heather just runs out the door.
after a bit of a detour. With coffee in your hand, perhaps?
Takes a little sip of tea. Notices sudden lack of butterflies. And I was like, wait, where'd Pastiche go? Looks forward. Hears running. Is that Feather?
Yeah, as you open the door and you step in, you begin walking down like this this kind of like stoop-like staircase, like a couple of feet of stairs before you get into the library proper, and you can start like getting into all the information desks and everything. You see also above you, like there's this there's this floating other F word. There's a lot of F words going on. There's this floating ship, like wooden ship, just hanging out, floating between the bookshelves, and then you see Feather running as you squint. Yeah, that is her.
What the?
She's running, like holding a satchel close to her, and she appears careening in your direction.
Xalia would be trying to follow, but Feather will outpace her.
Yeah. What would you like to do as a student of Zozo Academy is running towards the exit of a library?
Well, I don't know that. I don't think I know she's a student.
Just know a troll.
I see. Yeah, exactly.
You see.
I see Xalia too, right? Or no?
Probably like at the last moment of your decision.
Sure.
You see Xalia curl around the corner.
Okay.
You see this. You see Feather, this person who has threatened you, killed one of you once, or at least rendered you guys unconscious, and many homicidal acts towards you, all under the antipathy and aloofness of that she has presented you towards you as you ...
I cast a web. Like moment, like I see Feather running, I see Xalia behind. I'm like, all right, I'll figure this out later, and just a web Feather without any further hesitation.
Okay. This web
like sort of leap forward and cast it.
Leaps forward, expands to cover the chairs and the tables, and like it attaches up to the balcony above. It briefly halts the ship as the ship also is caught in this tangle. As Feather rushes forward, like half trips on the web and tries to figure out what she needs to do to get out of this. She sees you, your group, and her eyes narrow. She looks back as a wave of sudden realization goes over her brain sheet, and her eyes narrow again at you, Xalia. And then she just she growls to herself, curses, swoggle, and that's where we're going to end tonight's session.
Cool.
Nice.
Nice.